He's going to be my mic stand tonight. How do y'all like this? You're all right, brother. I tell you, it's an honor and a privilege for me to, everybody hear me okay now? Am I blowing anybody's eardrums out? Oh, God. Somebody waving back there. That's my voice. Can y'all not hear it? Can y'all hear well? Okay, good. Good deal. I tell you, it's an honor and a privilege for me to be here. This event means so very much to me in so many ways. And I'm going to try to actually get through this without shedding a tear. But I promise you, if it is tears, it'll be tears of appreciation and tears of joy. But Brother Bob Hapwell and myself, we've been working on this for about 3 years now, trying to schedule to allow me this opportunity to come up here and share tonight. And I really appreciate the fact that I've been working on my schedule, and he puts on just an absolutely incredible event. And, you know, number one, I appreciate him giving me the opportunity of coming up here, been up to share, and been up to go out and fish with soldiers in the morning. But, you know, above all of that, the fact of what, the commitment, the sacrifice, and just, to me, ultimately, the sacrifice that these men and women put forth each and every day to go out there and in the battlefield and wherever they may be and what they sacrifice every day. There's no way in this world that I could ever thank you enough for what you do and everything. I love you and thank you very much.
All right.
You know, if it weren't for what you ladies and gentlemen did each and every day and the sacrifice that y'all put forward, there's no way that I could ever be able to be a professional angler and live my dream and do what I do. You know, I travel all across the country. It doesn't matter where it is. Doesn't matter what time of year it is, whether I'm in competition or whether I'm traveling around to share my message as a motivational speaker. I've been doing this going on 17 years now, and the only reason I'm able to do what I do every day is because I've got my faith in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and the sacrifices that these men and women make for me every day. And I wish I could thank them enough, but there's no way that I'll ever be able to do that. And anytime I get a call, I'll be able to come and be at one of these events, be able to care about and show my appreciation for what they do for me and what they do for us each and every day. That's such a small price to pay. And you know, I could never do enough to say my thank you to them enough for what they truly deserve. And I tell you, I get out on the water a lot of times, and I want to be able to, I wish I could take a soldier fishing every day. That's what I want to do. And I couldn't tell you how many times that I've had soldiers get in the boat with me, and they say, man, thank you for taking me fishing. I look at them like, thank me? I think we just had a crash in the back corner. Everybody all right back there? But I'll tell you, it's an honor and a privilege for me to be here. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I know y'all can tell. How many of y'all can tell that I was not from Illinois? Whatever gave that away? Was it just Southern Alabama draw I had going on? Well, I'm from the wonderful state of Alabama, a little small town called Hamilton. About 5,000 people, been there my whole life. Just in case you're wondering where Hamilton, Alabama is, it's about an hour straight north of Tuscaloosa, home of the Alabama Crimson Tide. And by the way, roll tide. Never fails anywhere I go. We got roll tide people in the house. That's what I'm talking about. You know, I tell you, I'm a great big football fan. I'm a big time fisherman. I've always played sports, everything my whole life and growing up. And despite being born like this, and you know, I know that y'all might be disappointed. You might have been expecting, I don't know, Donald Trump or something up here tonight, or Nick Saban, they ain't got their money, but they ain't got my good looks, so there you go. But now, as I was talking about growing up and fishing, and I started fishing when I was about 4 years old, and it was always my dream, like any other child, to become a professional athlete. In all the sports I played, whether it be basketball, baseball, football, I played all those different sports. And I always wanted to be able to be at the top level, whatever it was. You know, I could see myself playing in the NFL. I mean, you know, you think the NFL is going to draft me? Am I 6'4", weigh 240 pounds and run a 4.40 and can knock somebody's head off? You know, I'm not 6'4", I'm 250 pounds. I do run a 40-yard dash. I run a 4.4. It just takes me 4 minutes and 40 seconds to run. But I run. But you know, I remember when I first started fishing,
that's just what God intended.
I was about 4 or 5 years old. sitting on my grandfather's lap in the farm.
I guess you could say he puts
and I never will forget the very first fish I ever caught was a catfish that weighed about 6 or 7 pounds. Caught him on a Snoopy rod and reel. If I drug me in the lake, I thought to get him in a bank. But I caught that with my first fish, and it just really hooked me. So as I started growing up and fishing more and more, I said, you know, I would love to be able to be a full-time bass fisherman. That was my dream. I remember coming home from church on Sunday mornings, and I remember watching Bassmasters on TV, and I remember thinking to myself, wow, how awesome is that? You know, it'd be just the ultimate dream come true to be a professional angler. Well, if being a professional angler, you know, you got to have the tools of the trade, you got to have the rods and reels and the boats and all that stuff. Well, I figured out, you know you're from the country and you know you're a redneck when it's your 16th birthday, instead of asking for a truck like most guys do, I asked for a boat. But see, I had this figured out. My dad made me and my brother a deal. And the deal was that we got a full-paid college scholarship to go to college on and buy whatever vehicle we wanted of our choice. So, you know, I nailed the boat on the 16th and got the car for the college graduation deal or the high school graduation deal for a full college scholarship. So, hey, life was all good. But in order to have all these tools and everything, I never will forget, I was about 13 years old. I just really got into bass fishing. I had at the time, I had a 16-foot Sprint boat with a 115 horsepower motor on the back of it. And today, I'm fortunate enough, I drive around a big, beautiful 2013, 21-foot Range with a big 250 Mercury on the back that'll fly. And I've got the best of technology on there. But I can remember back in those days when I was about 13, and I had that smaller boat, and I had about 6 or 8 rods and reels. This is the moral of the story. I sat at home one night, about 2 weeks before my birthday in May. I got the Bass Pro Shops catalog out, looking through the Bass Pro Shops. How many of you men got Bass Pro Shops? Don't lie. I know a bunch of you do. That's almost my favorite book of the Holy Bible, brother, I tell you. I'm flipping through the Bass Pro Shop and see this rod and reel is about $350. My mom and my dad's in the living room with me that night. I looked over at my dad, I said, Dad, I really love this rod and reel. I said, I really need this, man. Daddy looked at me and he said, well, how much is it? I said, $350. Daddy said, I'm not spending $350 on your rod and reel. I said, Dad, I said, you know, I tried to sell it to him. Well, my dad is a big time golfer. If I'm talking about a Payne driver or a Callaway, he's all over it. I'm talking about a rod and reel. He ain't having no part of it. Well, I could tell his blood pressure was starting to get up there. It was about the red on my shirt. You know, my brother man's here, pretty red stripe on his American flag shirt. I looked over there, and he was his blood pressure was getting up there, and his face was getting red. I said, uh-oh. I said, this ain't good. I said, Daddy's about to blow a gasket. Well, in Alabama, when you blow a gasket, that means you get your hind end busted. That means you get a whipping. Well, I knew I was about to get a whipping, so I said, okay. I said, I want to simmer down a little bit. So I simmered down, and when Daddy kind of flushed out, and his blood pressure was down a little bit, I thought, you know, I think I can go get this rod and reel. I think I can persuade him to get this. So before I go any further in this story, for all you young people out here tonight, do not try this at home. Please, this is yes sir, we will not try this at home. If I go home and I've got Facebook messages from your family that saying that little Bobby or little Johnny tried this at home, I'm going to come find you, okay? No, I'm really kidding, I won't. But anyway, I'm sitting there and I look over at my dad and I can tell he kind of cooled off a little bit and I said, Dad. And he got through that newspaper he was reading and he looked over at me and he said, what son, what do you want? I looked at him and I said, Dad, I said, I want you to think about something. I said, think about all the money I saved you in 13 years now I had to buy me shoes. Yeah, I went there, I said. Everybody's like, no, you didn't go there. Oh yeah, I went there. Well, as soon as I said it, my dad looked over my mother shrugged her shoulders at it, and she said, what are you going to say to that? So, next thing I knew, he pulled out his wallet and handed me his credit card, and he said, son, order that rod and reel, and I bet I hear another word out of you all night. So not only did I get the rod and reel, I didn't get a whipping either. It's all good. Life was grand. I still actually got that rod and reel to this day. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Joke. They say save on shoes. You don't have to shoes.
I tell you, I get asked everywhere I go. It doesn't matter where it is. I get asked, Clay, how do you do what you do? And you know, I want to tell you, life in general is full of obstacles. Life is full of adversities. The thing about life, and the thing about when people ask me how do I do what I do, and I tell them that I get to live my dream of being a professional angler. That's something that's on my heart tonight that I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. And when I think about life in general, and I think about each and every day how obstacles and adversities come into our past, come into our life, those obstacles and adversities are always trying to keep us from being where we want to be in life. They're trying to keep us from being successful. The thing about that is, when those obstacles and those adversities come into your life, and things that are out of your control come into your life, are you going to allow those circumstances to control the person you are? Are you going to allow those circumstances to rob you of your happiness and to rob you of where you want to go in life? I could have very easily sat around my whole life and said, you know what, I have no legs, I have a half arm, I feel sorry for myself, let me sit around on my backside and somebody will take care of me every day. And they would, because I'm blessed with a wonderful family. But you know what? That's not the way I look at life. We've got a sign up in our field house at home. I happen to also be a high school football coach as a volunteer. And in our field house, we have a sign hung up in there. And it says, character is a gift from God. Attitude is a choice. And when I think about that every day, I think about how true that is. Because every day of our life, we're going to be faced with some sort of adversity, whether it's something very small and minute, or something of a whole lot larger, portion. And when I think about adversity in your life every day, how do you handle that adversity? Well, everybody always asks me, they say, Clay, how do you handle adversity? We can tell that you're mentally strong, and you've got all these different attributes and qualities about you, but how do you handle it? This is the way I handle it. I know that a lot of adversity in life seems like it is simply insurpassable. It seems like it is just no way you can overcome it. But let me tell you this, I'm fixing to share with you a motto that I live by. A word that I live by. And we're going to break that word down a little bit. But I'll promise you, if you apply the philosophy that I'm fixing to discuss with you tonight, I'll promise you there is no adversity, there is no obstacle that you cannot overcome in your life. That I promise you. Doesn't mean you're all right. You're doing wonderful, man. Go back and start going numb and all that, and just slap me and tell me to shut up, all right? When I think about the word dream, we had some duct tape. I duct tape that filter in my chest. We have a bunch of redneck wire on the mic, bro. When I think about that I get to live my dream, the word dream in itself is obviously spelled D-R-E-A-M. When I think about the word dream, anytime that you're wanting to be successful in life, you got to have a starting spot. You got to have a beginning place in life to start. All these experts I see out there in life, whether you're an expert at baseball, whether you're a Major League Baseball player, NFL, whatever it may be, basketball, NBA, you name it. All these guys that were experts did not become experts overnight. They had to have a place where they began. When I think about where to begin, I think about living my dream. I know my beginning was that deep. And you say, well, Clay, that's how you spell a dream. Yeah, it is. But you know why I say my beginning was that deep? Because it didn't matter what adversity, it didn't matter what obstacles had to get in my path and slow me down from living my dream and doing what I love doing. I always, no matter what, I always had enough determination that I never gave up. It didn't matter what happened. It didn't matter what adversity ever got in my path. I always made my mind up at the start that I was going to have enough determination and that I was never going to give up. It didn't matter what I had to face. I was always going to have enough determination to overcome and defeat that obstacle and defeat that adversity and to get to where I want to get to in life. I want you to think about that this moment in determination and never giving up. Because I can always sum determination up into 3 words, and that's never give up. Because so many people in this life, when they're going through this world, when they're going through their life in general, a little bit of adversity or a little bit of obstacle get in their path. And what's the first thing they want to do?
It's like when I carry
oh, pitiful me. What am I going to do about this? Let me just, I'm just going to quit. I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, that brings me to the next topic. When I think about determination, and I think about never giving up, regardless of what circumstances hit you, regardless of what adversity or what obstacles hit you, when I think about determination, the very next letter in the word dream is R, and that's resources. Resources to me is all about one thing. I focus on the resources I have, and I don't dwell on what's missing. How many times would you honestly be honest with yourself? How many times have you ever went through life and if you said, I can't? Raise your hand. How many have ever went through life and said, I can't? I know two people that I know that have went through life and never said, I can't. One of them is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. The other one, you're looking at him right after you're talking to you, myself. I've never said I can't. I never will say I can't. And there's nothing in this world that ever makes me sick, that frustrates me and irritates me more, than to hear somebody say, I can't do this because I don't have this. I can't do that because I don't have that. I can't. Well, hello. How many of you think when I looked at being a professional bass angler, I look at how to drive a high-performance boat at 70 miles an hour. I look at all those rods and rails that are very sophisticated and hard for most people to grow. How many of you would have thought that I could look at that and say, you know what? I need hands, I need fingers, I need feet, I need legs, I need all that stuff. I need all that stuff. I can't do that, it's too hard. But you know what I did? I said, forget that. I don't have to have all that. I've got a heart, I've got a mind, I've got a soul. I've got a heart that never gives up, that always puts its nose to the grindstone every day and fights through what adversity is facing it. I've got a soul that believes in Jesus Christ, that is never ever going to let up or let down. I've got a mind that's a very engineered mind, that no matter what adversity or what obstacle hits me, I'm going to figure out a way to get through it, and I'm going to figure out a way to beat it and defeat it, one way or the other. When I think about resources, I always dwell, but I mean never dwell on what's missing. Never dwell on the fact that you don't have something. Always be thankful for what you got, because I can promise you, it can be gone in a blink of an eye. That's how fast it can leave. And when I think about resources, the one resource that I absolutely, it pushes everything else I do, the one resource that enables me to do what I do in my life, to fight through obstacles every day of my life, to fight through whatever adversity that the devil tries to put in my life. All that one main resource is my faith in God. He's the reason I'm where I'm at. He's the reason that gives me the happiness. He's the reason that gives me everything I need to fight through each day of my life. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ that gives me strength. Everybody in this country, when I go around places, I say, Clay, how do you do what you do? That's how I do it. Because he gives me the strength every day. Because I allow him in my life. And he is the one that gives me the strength to fight through no matter what adversity comes in my path. He is the one I draw my strength. He's the one I draw my love. He's the one I draw my happiness from each and every day. When I think about determination, when I think about never giving up, when I think about focusing on what resources that I have and not dwelling on what's missing, and I think about wanting to be successful, the very next thing in the dream is obviously eating. Eating to me is effort. Effort, I can sum it up in one phrase to me. Effort is you give it 110% every day of your life, no matter what you're doing, no matter how bad your back's hurt, no matter how bad your body's aching, no matter how bad your head's pounding in the back because you got a headache or whatever else. You don't let up and you don't lay down because you got a little bit of ache and pain. You don't lay around and say, oh, poor pitiful me, let me feel sorry for myself, and let me see what kind of self-pity I can have myself. Get up off your backside and go get it done no matter what it takes. You put forth the effort it takes to do it. Because let me tell you, if you want to go through life and not give effort, then let me tell you something. Don't expect anything. Don't expect success. Because you're going to sadly be a sad mistake. But if you go through life each and every day and you give it 110% effort, I'll promise you, you will be successful. And there will be nothing holding you back from your dreams. When I think about determination, when I think about resources, when I think about effort, does anybody want to take a shot at what aim is? I heard right up here, attitude, you nailed it. Attitude is something for me that I can get down on. If y'all know what else, y'all smell what I'm cooking. Every day when you wake up in your life, you face two different choices and one decision. Whether you realize it or not. Before you make however many decisions you make today, you have two choices and one decision every day to start your life. And that's what kind of attitude you're going to live your life with. Are you going to live your life with an attitude of every time a little something comes into your life that tries to blood you up, tries to bust your nose up a little bit? When a little bit of adversity comes in your life, are you going to say, you know what, I can't do this? Are you going to crawl in your shell and hide? Or are you going to face the world with your feet squared and your back against the wall and you're going to come out swinging and you're going to come out being a champion? And you're not going to let adversity hold you back. You're not going to let obstacles hold you back. People, you're looking at a 35-year-old man up here that was born with a half arm. No, I didn't lose my extremity due to an accident or anything like that. But you are looking at a 35-year-old man up here that will tell you right now that every day when you get up and you make that decision of what attitude you're going to live your life with, my hope and my prayer is for you that you don't live your life in an attitude of feeling sorry for yourself. And let me say, oh, let me see what I can do to get away with something today. Let me see how much I feel sorry for myself. Let me see how much I can complain. My hope and my prayer for you is that when you wake up every morning, it doesn't matter what you face that day, that you're going to keep a smile on your face, you're going to keep your head up, you're going to keep it in high gear, you're going to keep your foot on the gas pedal, and you're going to keep going straight ahead. And you're not going to let anything slow you down or defeat you from getting where you want to go in your life. That's what I hope. And that's what my prayer is for you tonight, because that's the way you're going to live your attitude. you're going to keep your head up, keep a smile on your face, and you're going to be a champion one day at a time. And in closing, I want to share one other thing. Is motivation. Everybody says, Clay, what motivates you to do what you do? What motivates you to go out here and be on the road over 250 days a year? What motivates you to do like I did last night, you know, and leave Jansen, Alabama at 9 o'clock and drive all night? Well, I didn't drive all night. My buddy drove all night. But he drove me up here to get me. We got here at 5 o'clock this morning. I slept about half a day in the hotel, got up, tried to get ready to come over here. I'll be leaving straight from here, going back home tonight, and getting ready to go to North Carolina and straight to Texas. I'm on the road a lot. There's a lot of times I get so worn down, I forget what town I'm in, I forget where I'm at from time to time, and I get worn down, I get exhausted because I'm human. But everybody always asks me, Clay, what is it that motivates you? What is it that motivates you to get up and go out there and compete for $200,000, for $500,000, for $1 million on the Bassmasters Classic, on the Bassmasters Tournament Trail? What motivates you to do that? They say, is it the money? Absolutely not. Number one, I've been doing it 16 years. You know how many checks I've got nationally? Yeah, that's right, I won. If I was paying for all my bills on what I won nationally, I lost everything I had financially. Thank God for Ortho Coolers, thank God for Scott King Cooler Company being a financial sponsor of mine that enables me to go out here and build a tour, be able to go out here and live my dream. I said all that to say this. People say, Clay, what is it that motivates you? Is it the money that motivates you? Is it the fish that motivates you? That's part of it. Because I want to be able to go out there at the end of my career, when I pull up somewhere, whether it's 10, 15, 20 years from now, when I pull up somewhere, I want to be able to be a regular, competing force out here on the tournament trail. So when I pull up, everybody in that tournament looks and says, if you want to win this Bassmaster event, you're going to have to beat Clay Dyer. What do they say right now? They say, you better beat Jason Christie from Oklahoma. You better beat Kevin Van Dam from Michigan. You better beat those guys because they're the top of the top. If you want to win, you better be ready to beat one of them. You better be able to beat Gerald Swindle at the top of the rank, at the top of the standings. I want to be able to say, if you want to win, you better beat Clay Dyer. But that's not ultimately what motivates me. What is it that motivates me? What motivates Clay Dyer, what makes my heart tick, what makes me get up and out of bed before daylight, a whole lot of mornings, more so than what it does. What motivates me to go out here and travel all across the country and do 50 to 60 of these appearances a year. What motivates me to go out there and fish like I fish is I got nothing to do with money. What motivates me is when somebody comes up to me and they say, Clay, I'm facing this adversity, I'm facing this obstacle, and I don't know what to do. Can you give me advice? Can you give me help? When I'm able to encourage someone, when I'm able to inspire someone to never give up and never lay down, and I'm able to inspire them to overcome adversity, to overcome their obstacles, and be a champion in life, that's what motivates me, that's what makes my heart beat. I want to tell you, you guys and ladies have been incredible tonight. I honor the opportunity of coming up here and sharing tonight. Thank you once again for your ultimate sacrifices that we get to live our dreams each and every day. I have a grandfather right now who's laying home in a hospital bed, almost dead. And he's 91 years old. He was a World War II veteran and a Korean War veteran. And I know what it's like out there for you ladies and gentlemen in these sacrifices. God bless you all. I love you so much. Thank you very much. God bless you.